Starting a new job is always a blend of excitement and anxiety. When I landed a summer gig at a local carnival in downtown LA, I was just looking for some extra cash before my senior year of college. The carnival was a typical setup rides, games, food stands. But its main attraction was the fun house, which doubled as a haunted house after dark. It wasn't some rickety setup, either. It was a real structure, an old mansion repurposed for the carnival. My job was simple manage the fun house, guide people in, and make sure everyone left safely. It seemed straightforward until I started noticing the oddities. IT began with the numbers. I'd count 12 people entering, but only 11 would come out. At first, I blamed it on the chaos, the screams, the flashing lights, the confusion. But as the days went by, it kept happening. 10 in, 9 out. 7 in, 6 out. Something was off, then one night, things escalated. It was a busy Friday night. Amid the crowd, I noticed her, a blonde girl, stunningly beautiful, standing out like a sore thumb amidst the carnival's childish chaos. She smiled at me, handed me her ticket, and disappeared into the funhouse. I kept an eye on the door, waiting for her to re-emerge, hoping to maybe strike up a conversation. But minutes passed, and she didn't come out. Groups that had entered after her were already leaving, but she was nowhere to be seen. Worried, I decided to investigate. I locked the entrance, slipped inside, and started walking through the dimly lit maze of mirrors and creepy animatronics. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know how bad it was yet. As I moved deeper into the house, I came across something unusual, a barely visible seam in the wall. Curiosity got the better of me. I pressed against it, and the wall clicked open, revealing a hidden door. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, a secret passage in the funhouse. I followed the narrow, dark corridor, my phone's flashlight guiding the way. The passage led me to a concealed exit that opened back onto the carnival grounds. At first, I sighed in relief, thinking I had solved the mystery. The missing guests must have accidentally found this exit, I thought. But something gnawed at me. What about that girl? She hadn't left through this door, I was sure of it. I went back into the fun house, determined to find her. That's when I stumbled upon another hidden seam in the wall, identical to the first one. I opened it, but instead of another hallway, there was a ladder leading down into darkness. A horrible smell hit me immediately, a rancid stench that made my stomach churn. I was told there was no basement in this place. Every instinct screamed at me to turn back, but I couldn't shake the thought of the girl. What if she was down there? Against my better judgment, I started climbing down the ladder. As I descended, the air grew colder, thicker with the foul smell. When I reached the bottom, my flashlight illuminated something that made my blood run cold. A tunnel, dark and damp, stretching far beyond the fun house. This wasn't part of the carnival. This was something else. Something ancient. I was about to turn back when I saw a small, glittery purse lying in the middle of the tunnel. I picked it up, recognizing it immediately. It was hers, the blonde girl's. Panic surged through me. What was she doing down here? My mind raced with questions. Was she lost? Hurt? Or worse? Was she not alone? That's when I heard the sound of footsteps echoing through the tunnel. I turned to run, but my legs felt like lead. The footsteps grew faster, louder, closing in on me. I barely made it back to the ladder before I slipped, crashing to the ground. My phone flew out of my hand, its screen flickering as it landed in the dirt. The footsteps were right on top of me now. I scrambled to my feet, bracing for whatever was coming. And then, out of the darkness, she appeared. The blonde girl, gasping for air, clutching her side as if in pain. She looked at me, her eyes wide with fear. "Help me," she pleaded. I told her to climb up the ladder, but she refused, insisting that I follow her deeper into the tunnel. My instinct screamed, no, I wasn't about to follow anyone down here, no matter how desperate they seemed. I practically shoved her up the ladder and slammed the door shut behind us. Once we were back inside the fun house, I demanded answers. but she didn't have any. She kept saying she didn't remember how she got down there, only that she woke up underground and started hearing voices. Her eyes had this blank, eerie stare that sent chills down my spine. I was done. I called the police, but before they could arrive, she vanished. Just like that, she slipped away into the night. I never saw her again. When the police arrived, they discovered something even more unsettling. The funhouse had been built over a network of underground tunnels dating back to Prohibition, used by bootleggers to smuggle alcohol. No one knew they were still there. The owner claimed ignorance, but I wasn't buying it. Something wasn't right about that place. I quit the next day, but the questions still haunt me. Was the girl almost kidnapped? Had someone dragged her down there? Or worse, was she part of something more sinister? I don't know what was going on in that fun house, but one thing was clear: I'd gotten way too close to something dark. Something evil. And I had almost paid the price.